On the 28th of February 2022, 4 days into the Russian invasion, the Lviv state aircraft repair plant in Ukraine was targeted for destruction. Why? Because it is the only one in Ukraine capable of performing major maintenance on MiG-29s, Ukraine's frontline aircraft. Obviously, taking out this facility was critical to writing down Ukraine's air power. The Ukrainians reported that 6 Russian cruise missiles were fired at the plant, though 2 were intercepted and destroyed. The remaining 4 caused considerable damage. One large hangar was completely destroyed, in the process causing great loss to a country not involved in the war. The destroyed hangar belonged to Ukroboronprom, a Ukrainian state-owned enterprise that specializes in maintaining, overhauling, and also selling various Soviet-era jets, primarily the MiG-29 Fulcrum. Among the MiGs destroyed by the Russian attack were 3 from the Azerbaijan Air Force, a very expensive example of collateral damage. Unlike Ukraine, Azerbaijan, the former Soviet republic, did not inherit any MiG-29s on its independence following the breakup of the USSR in 1991. Instead, its air force had to make do with rather elderly MiG-21s. However, in 2005, the Azeri government signed a deal with Ukraine for 14 MiG-29s, 2 of them 2-seater trainers. These aircraft emerged from the Lviv repair facility at the international airport. Aside from maintaining and upgrading all MiG-29s in Ukrainian Air Force service, it also provides overhauling and repair facilities of foreign MiG-29s from Azerbaijan, Bangladesh and Sudan. The Lviv plant also refurbishes MiG-27s from Kazakhstan. In 2009 and 11, Azerbaijan took delivery of 2 more MiG-29 UBs from Lviv, bringing its modern fleet up to 14 aircraft. The original agreement between Azerbaijan and Ukraine included the ongoing maintenance or upgrading of the Azeri MiGs at Lviv every 12 months. 3 MiGs would be delivered by Antonov 124 to Lviv for maintenance. This was why, in February 2022, 3 Azerbaijan Air Force MiG-29s were inside the Lviv repair plant when it was hit. A second-hand MiG-29 normally retails between $5 and $8 million, and Azerbaijan will require compensation for their loss, most probably from Russia. Azerbaijan had already lost 1 MiG-29 in 2019 to an accident in their own country. The destruction of the Lviv plant is also going to have a knock-on effect on several foreign air forces, who are reliant on servicing their MiGs at the facility. If the Azerbaijan MiGs had not been destroyed at Lviv on the 28th of February, it seems likely that Ukraine would have purchased them from the Azerbaijan government and after repainting them have placed them into Ukrainian Air Force service, as the nation desperately needs frontline combat aircraft. This story demonstrates, as with my previous video about mines turning up in Turkey, how the war in Ukraine is affecting nations not directly involved in the conflict. There is one aspect of the ongoing war in Ukraine that is often overlooked: the effects of the conflict on other countries that are not directly involved. For example, I recently made a video about drones that have crashed in Croatia and Romania, the origin of some of them still disputed. Another threat has begun to emerge over the past month and has started to impact another NATO member state some distance from Ukraine: Turkey. The threat is very real and very deadly: sea mines. The Turkish Navy has been forced to destroy several Soviet-era mines that have entered its waters, one even being detected close to Istanbul. So why is this a big deal, and who is responsible? The first question can be answered relatively easily. The Black Sea connects to the Aegean and thence the Mediterranean via the Bosphorus and Dardanelles Straits. This area is a natural choke point where international shipping is bunched up as vessels ply the busy trade routes in the region, one of the most important shipping areas in the world. Adding drifting sea mines to such an economically important area is a recipe for serious disasters. So who's responsible for unleashing the mines? Put simply, no one yet knows whether this is deliberate or accidental, but Russia and Ukraine blame each other. Russia says that Ukraine positioned 420 old Soviet-era sea mines anchored to weighted boxes on the seabed to try and add protection to the approaches to the ports of Odessa, Ochakov, and Chernomorsk. The main type of sea mine used, the YAM, resembles an old World War II-style magnetic mine, and indeed dates from the World War II period. The second, the YARM, is actually designed to be used in rivers and estuaries. The YAM is a potent weapon, easy to use and weighing 172 kilograms. Its explosive charge is 20 kilos. They are normally suspended 1 to 2 meters beneath the surface in fields, their horns attracted to the metal hulls of passing ships. Russia claims that a storm in the Black Sea caused many to break free of their securing cables and bob to the surface, drifting south with the prevailing currents. Ukraine denies this and accuses Russia of maliciously setting mines adrift and using them as, quote, uncontrolled drifting ammunition, end quote. Regardless of whether this is accidental or planned, the result has been the steady arrival of Soviet-era sea mines in Romanian and Turkish coastal waters, and the aforementioned threat to commercial shipping and human life. It's been claimed that many of the 420 mines mentioned earlier are now adrift, and if so, this problem will only grow over time. One ship has already been sunk, most probably by collision with a drifting sea mine. In early March, the Estonian general cargo ship MV Helt was at anchor some distance off the Ukrainian port of Odessa when it was hit below the waterline by a large explosion. The 6 crewmen were rescued, but the Helt sank. So far, 1 YAM mine has been found and neutralized off Romania and 3 in Turkish waters, all reported to be in poor condition due to being old munitions and of course unstable. 1 mine has already caused a temporary closure of the Bosphorus Strait while the Turkish Navy dealt with it. Fortunately, the Turkish Navy has a strong mine countermeasures force consisting of 11 relatively new vessels, so is well equipped to tackle the threat. But locating sea mines still remains a difficult art even in the 21st century, and a replay of the sinking of the MV Helt may yet occur in one of the world's most important shipping routes. It has also been surmised that some of these mines may drift through the Bosphorus into the Aegean and on into the Mediterranean, given enough time.